Hi and a very good day. My name is Farhan bin metric number 280143. We are from group 11 for the subject BPMN2023 organizational behavior. First of all, allow me to introduce our group members. Our group members consist of 4 people including myself. First is Abi Rafi Ramadan, metric number 274858. Next is Yap Gilin, metric number 279634. And finally is our group leader, which is Naufal Haris bin Ahmad Naufal Effendi, metric number 280628. So without further ado, let us proceed to with our video presentation. Starting off with our first speaker is Yap Gilin. Enjoy.
Now I will present about our assessment. Our project is trouble fixing interest way of meaning of apprehends the internal or outside trouble of a company and provide elevation and recommendation to the difficult company. In this project, we are able to examine how a supervisor manager of the complete organization with the fixing the internal or outside trouble of the company. We prepare an interview about the issue of the company to the supervisor of the company to do a little survey to continue our project. Now, we will discuss about the company background. That company we select is Alcohol Sdn Bhd in Tawau, Sabah, this company, which is an enterprise of manufacture of business gases and cultivation of oil palm. Additionally, the company have promotion element and equipment of the welding and cutting. The company being run at 1991 at Sabah, Davao. Until now, Alcohol Sdn Bhd turned into correctly having the department workplace in Sadakan, Sabah. Alcohol Sdn Bhd with a crop with my 3 half seen on road with the PO Box 622X3 Davao, Sabah and the license plate 225047P. Now we will discuss the issue of the company. Based on the survey in the interview, we know that lack of professional staff and employee was the main problem facing by the small and medium enterprise Alcohol Sdn Bhd. We need more time to complete the project because insufficient staff, said by Ms. Ho in the interview session. Employees are the primary surprise of a company's success. Having an employee and professional crew is the purpose of an entrepreneur. What is the lack of skilled employee? Unskilled labor is used to construct a piece of the body of worker related to a restricted ability set or minimum monetary fee of the planning performs. Unskilled labor is commonly characterized with the act of using a decrease in the instructional attainment with include an exercise, college diploma, GED or lack theory and normal consequence in small weight.
For the next, I will present about the factor and the consequences of problem happen in the company. To protect a new or existing business, it's important to understand what might cause it to fail, and how each barrier can be controlled or avoided entirely. Small firms fail for a variety of reasons, including having not good quality of employee. The first factor is difficulties of having professional and well-skilled worker, such as high cost to improve worker, knowledgeable and professional workers is not easy to hire, and high-level workers mean higher salaries to pay. Hiring now is quite different from hiring years ago, owing to the fact that companies now live in a candidate-driven market where job seekers' expectations have a greater influence on what hiring managers must evaluate. With that in mind, the company felt it would be beneficial to gain some insight into how today's labor market appears from the perspective of a frequent difficulty. Employees can help business streamline process and increase revenue. Employees must be trained before they can be all-stars in your company. To have well-skilled workers, the company needs to take more time and cost to lead the new employees. This problem will make the work efficiency is not high in this company, but this problem causes a lot of outcome. This problem will surely cause a negative effect to the performance levels of company. Hiring professional workers frequently evaluate candidates using experience, success, or knowledge as a criteria. Degrees from prestigious universities, excellent GPAs, great job experience, and strong technical capabilities are sort of the bullet points that employers look for. The dilemma is that a candidate might possess all of these qualities yet still fail to be hired. Skilled employees are generally very prolific, putting out a lot of work in a short amount of time while maintaining a high level of quality. Furthermore, skilled employees are in less supply than unskilled employees. If the company can't pay well-skilled workers, that means it has low level of employees. Having low level of employees means a bad performance level of the company that can cause issues such as understaffed. So the last factor is lack of communication. Lack of communication in company can also cause a lot of problems such as increasing employee turnover, poor customer service, lower shareholder return, lower employee productivity, greater incidence of injury, and increasing absenteeism.
Hi, my name is Farhan bin Muhammad Nizam, and I'm going to present to you about the framework for ACOS gas sendirian berhad. This framework is basically it presents the main issues, the factors, and also the consequences that's been occurring inside the company. Let's start off with the main issues for this company. The first issue is the lack of staff and employees working inside ACOS gas sendirian berhad. Now, any company in this world, doesn't matter the company is big or the company is small, they require a sufficient amount of employees working for them, because whenever a company does not have a sufficient amount of employees, they cannot keep their business run the way that they want to do. So the next issue is the unskilled staff or the unskilled employees inside ACOS gas. First of all, they are lacking in the number of employees, and in addition to that, the employees that they currently have are not skilled enough. This leads to a longer time required to finish a certain project, or they might use up more resources than they are supposed to. Now let's take a look at the factors that contribute to this issue. The first one is the high amount of cost to train or even to hire new employees. This is because employees nowadays, they tend to demand a high amount of wage and salaries from the companies that they want to work in. So whenever a company does not meet their demanded wage salaries, they would just simply reject the offer, and this ACOS gas sendirian berhad finds it difficult for them to hire new employees. The second factor is the lack of communication between the staff or between the employees. Now, one of the ways to train employees is by communication. Through communication, Employees can increase their soft skills, or they can even correct any mistakes that they made whenever they are working. So now finally, let's take a look at the consequences it brings. The first one is a lower work efficiency. This is due to the unskilled staff or unskilled employees, because they use up more resources than they are supposed to. They also take a longer time to finish a certain project. This lowers down the work efficiency for ACOTS gas engineering per head. In addition to that, they might increase the costs incurred, and also probably lead to a loss for ACOTS gas engineering per head. Finally is the decrease in performance level. This is because the lack of staff or lack of employees for ACOTS gas. Because they are lacking in the employees, they use the same employees for different number of projects, for various projects. So whenever a new project cannot be started unless the previous projects is finished. So this leads to a decrease in performance level, and they cannot get the profit from it. So I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Farhan, for the explanation of framework. Next, I will present about the suggestion to overcome the issue in the company. My name is Nafal Haris bin Ahmad Nafal Afandi, and my metric number is 280628. A challenge is an obstacle that must be overcome to achieve a goal for every company or business. Each company or business face different type of challenge to maintain their successful. Company that we choose, which is ACOTS Gas and Environment, had facing some issue in their journey to success. As mentioned by Abdulafti in 3.0, there are some issues regarding the workforce in the company. Without wasting time, let's get to the point. For the first issue, which is the difficulty to employ a professional and well-skilled workers, for the suggestion, I suggest that the company should associate with local university or a nearby university. This is because they can get a fresh graduate student that are having a bigger potential to become a well-skilled workers in future. This action will benefit both parties, which is the university can help their student to get a job quickly, and also the company can get a fresh graduate worker that have potential to become a well-skilled workers in the future. For the second issue, which is high cost to improve the workers. In the interview, Mrs. Ho suggests that the company need to prepare a training and development for all staff. To overcome the situation, the company need to evaluate the cost of training to develop their existing staff. As we know, the cost to training and development for staff is very high nowadays. Also, I suggest that the company should buy a new machine, a new asset like a new machine or a better machine to increase the performance of their workers and also their product. For the third issue, which is the lack of communication, as mentioned in 3.2, I suggest that the company must set a communication standard and safe space for communication. For example, employees need to feel comfortable in voicing their opinions, like offering ideas or reporting issue and asking questions to the top tier manager. Mrs. Ho also suggests that the manager should play a better role, like giving a clear instruction to all employees so that the employee can manage their work as what manager want. So that's all from me.
For the last part is conclusion. To recruit and keep the talent they need to build their business, companies must emphasize reskilling and upskilling. Those that do so will not only increase employees' engagement, but will also attract the best new recruits, positioning themselves to emerge from the epidemic not only where they were, but stronger and better positioned to move forward. Companies that want to recruit and keep the talent they need to grow must first identify their future workforce top objective. They must embrace new, flexible work patterns and create a workforce that can choose their own path in life. They will not only increase the motivation and engagement of their current employees, but they will also attract the best new candidates and propel their company to new heights. Most companies must spend resources and time to train their personnel in order to be successful. They also require independent contractors with whom they may freely collaborate. Experts have also stated that in order to be successful, every organization needs to appropriate quantity of training. They must have frequent tasks where they may teach individuals and conduct various activities in order to achieve this. If a weakness is discovered during an evaluation, organization must fix it and update their techniques once more.